It is found that the average number of daily traffic violations, V, is inversely proportional to the number of police surveillance stops, and that's P, on the road. The number of traffic violations is 120 when the number of surveillance stops is 5. Calculate the number of violations when the number of surveillance stops is increased to 8. And so we have that the average number of daily traffic violations, that's V. So V is inversely proportional to P, right? So that's what we have, right? V is inversely proportional to P. And so that's how we write it symbolically. V is inversely proportional to P. Now, what does it mean for V to be inversely proportional to P? Now, that means that there exists some constant K such that V is equal to K divided by P. Now, in this case, what is K? And so our goal first is to figure out what is this constant K in this situation. So what is V? Well, we know what V is. V is 120. And so we substitute that. We know what is P. Well, P is equal to 5. And so that's going to be 5 right there. So we have 120 is equal to K all over 5. But what is K? And so we have to figure out what is K. We put 120 over 1. And we set it equal to K over 5. We cross multiply. And so we have that 1 times K is K. And 5 times 120 is 120 times 5. And so we have that K is equal to 120 times 5. And 120 times 5 is 600. So we have 600 is equal to K, or K is equal to 600. Now that we know what K is, we're going to use that understanding to figure out what is going to be V, the number of violations, when the number of surveillance stops is increased to 8. And so what does that mean? Well, that means that P is equal to 8, right? That's P is equal to 8, like we have here, 8. And K, well, K is still 600. And so we have that V is equal to K over P. We substitute. We know that K is 600. Indeed, we know that K is 600. And we know that P is 8. And so we know that V is equal to 600 divided by 8. And so 600 divided by 8 is going to be 75. So that means that the number of violations when the number, so that means that the number of violations when the number of surveillance stops is increased to 8 is going to be 75. And that's the answer to this particular question.